Exodus chapter 21. These are the laws you are to set before them. If you buy a Hebrew servant, he is to serve you for 6 years, but in the 7th year he shall go free without paying anything. If he comes alone, he is to go free alone. But if he has a wife when he comes, she is to go with him. If his master gives him a wife and she bears him sons or daughters, the woman and her children shall belong to her master, and only the man shall go free. But if the servant declares, I love my master and my wife and children, and do not want to go free, then his master must take him before the judges. He shall take him to the door, or the doorpost, and pierce his ear with an awl. Then he will be his servant for life. If a man sells his daughter as a servant, she is not to go free as male servants do. If she does not please the master who has selected her for himself, he must let her be redeemed. He has no right to sell her to foreigners, because he has broken faith with her. If he selects her for his son, he must grant her the rights of a daughter. If he marries another woman, he must not deprive the first one of her food, clothing, and marital rights. If he does not provide her with these 3 things, she is to go free without any payment of money.
出埃及记21，奴婢的条例，申15.12-18。你在百姓面前所要立的典章是这样：你若买希伯来人做奴仆，他服侍你6年，第7年他可以自由，白白的离去。他若单身来，就可以单身去。他若是有妻子的，他的妻子可以同他离去。若他主人给他娶了妻，妻子为他生了儿子或女儿，妻子和儿女要归主人，他要独自离去。倘若奴仆声明，我爱我的主人和我的妻子儿女，不愿意自由离去，他的主人就要带他到审判官前，再带他到门或门框那里，用锥子穿他的耳朵，他就要永远服侍主人。人若卖女儿做婢女，婢女不可像男的奴仆那样离去。主人若选定她归自己，后来看不顺眼，就要允许她赎身。主人既然对她失信，就没有权柄把她卖给外邦人。主人若选定她给自己的儿子，就当照女儿的规矩对待她。若另娶一个，她的饮食、衣服和房事不可减少。若不向她行这3样，她就可以白白离去，不必付赎金。
Anyone who strikes a person with a fatal blow is to be put to death. However, if it is not done intentionally, but God lets it happen, they are to flee to a place I will designate. But if anyone schemes and kills someone deliberately, that person is to be taken from my altar and put to death. Anyone who attacks their father or mother is to be put to death. Anyone who kidnaps someone is to be put to death, whether the victim has been sold or is still in the kidnapper's possession. Anyone who curses their father or mother is to be put to death. If people quarrel and one person hits another with a stone or with their fist, and the victim does not die but is confined to bed, the one who struck the blow will not be held liable if the other can get up and walk around outside with the staff. However, the guilty party must pay the injured person for any loss of time and see that the victim is completely healed. Anyone who beats their male or female slave with a rod must be punished if the slave dies as a direct result. But they are not to be punished if the slave recovers after a day or 2, since the slave is their property. If people are fighting and hit a pregnant woman and she gives birth prematurely, but there is no serious injury, the offender must be fined whatever the woman's husband demands and the court allows. But if there is serious injury, you are to take life for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot, burn for burn, wound for wound, bruise for bruise. An owner who hits a male or female slave in the eye and destroys it must let the slave go free to compensate for the eye. And an owner who knocks out the tooth of a male or female slave must let the slave go free to compensate for the tooth.
惩罚暴行的条例，打人致死的，必被处死。他若不是出于预谋，而是上帝交在他手中，我就设立一个地方，让他可以逃到那里。人若蓄意用诡计杀了他的邻舍，就是逃到我的坛那里，也当把他捉去处死。打父母的，必被处死。诱拐人口的，无论是把人卖了，或是扣留在他手中，必被处死。咒骂父母的，必被处死。人若彼此争吵，一个用石头或拳头打另一个，被打的人没有死去，却要躺卧在床。若他还能起来扶杖行走，那打他的可免处刑，却要赔偿他不能工作的损失，并要把他完全医好。人若用棍子打奴仆或婢女，当场死在他的手下，他必受报应。若能撑过1-2天，主人就不必受惩罚，因为那是他的财产。人若彼此打斗，伤害有孕的妇人，以致胎儿掉了出来，随后却无别的伤害，那伤害他的人总要按妇人的丈夫所提出的，照审判官所裁定的赔偿。若有别的伤害，就要以命抵命，以眼还眼，以牙还牙，以手还手，以脚还脚，以灼伤还灼伤，以损伤还损伤，以鞭打还鞭打。人若打奴仆或婢女的眼睛，毁了一只，就要因他的眼让他自由离去；若打掉了奴仆或婢女的一颗牙，就要因他的牙让他自由离去。
If a bull gores a man or woman to death, the bull is to be stoned to death, and its meat must not be eaten. But the owner of the bull will not be held responsible. If, however, the bull has had the habit of goring, and the owner has been warned but has not kept it penned up, and it kills a man or woman, the bull is to be stoned, and its owner also is to be put to death. However, if payment is demanded, the owner may redeem his life by the payment of whatever is demanded. This law also applies if the bull gores a son or a daughter. If the bull gores a male or female slave, the owner must pay 30 shekels of silver to the master of the slave, and the bull is to be stoned to death. If anyone uncovers a pit, or digs one and fails to cover it, and an ox or donkey falls into it, the one who opened the pit must pay the owner for the loss and take the dead animal in exchange. If anyone's bull injures someone else's bull and it dies, the two parties are to sell the live one, and divide both the money and the dead animal equally. However, if it was known that the bull had the habit of goring, yet the owner did not keep it penned up, the owner must pay animal for animal, and take the dead animal in exchange.
物主的责任：牛若抵死男人或女人，总要用石头打死那牛，却不可吃它的肉。牛的主人可免处刑。倘若那牛向来是抵人的，牛的主人虽然受过警告，仍不把它拴好，以致把男人或女人抵死，牛要用石头打死，主人也要被处死。若罚他付赎命的赔款，他就要照所罚的数目赎他的命。牛若抵了男孩或女孩，也要照这条例处理。牛若抵了奴仆或婢女，就要把30舍客勒银子给他的主人，牛要用石头打死。人若敞开井口，或挖井不盖住它，有牛或驴掉进井里，井的主人要拿钱赔偿牲畜的主人，死牲畜要归自己。人的牛若抵死邻舍的牛，他们就要卖了那活牛，平分价钱，也要平分死牛。若这牛向来是以好抵人出名的，主人竟不把牛拴好，他必要以牛赔牛，死牛却归自己。